Shall we play a game?
Well, it's been interesting. Why is this so loud in my ears? Oh, of course, because I'm on the bloody monitor mix, aren't I? I've had to switch over to the monitor mix instead of the stream mix because the stream mix isn't working. Anyway. Updates. Windows updated, drivers updated, bloody wavelength things updated, and then Railroader updated, and that just blew me out of the water. And yeah. Let me turn down my own ears because it's too loud, but I'll need it up that loud for you guys. Right, I don't think that makes any difference for the stream. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, God, that changes the stream, doesn't it? Okay, all right, we'll put up with it being loud. We're going to be in Train Sim Classic instead of Railroader because, I don't know if you know, but the Railroader landscape basically works off a whole lot of mods. And there's two key ones that I absolutely need. All my map mods will work, but I need Railloader, not Railroader, Railloader to load them up. And I need Strange Customs to make this scripting work. And they both need a release because it's just had a massive update in Railroader. And that's, yeah, caused some dramas. Caused some dramas. But that's okay. I'm still trying to figure out why my actual stream audio is not working to do it properly, because I'm running off the monitor mix right now. Let's get something going in the game. This should be working. Why isn't it working? Why does nothing work? Output device. Oh God, it's reset everything. No wonder it's fucked. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, good, good. Alright, let's force you out into the game. And that output device for the system should be that. The output device for the system should be... Not that. Where is it? I've got too many audio devices. That is what it should be. And the input should be that. Right, now that hasn't affected the stream mix yet. This is just totally weird. Wavelength output device should be the stream mix. Which isn't in my list. Well, no wonder it's not going out on the stream mix. My stream mix audio device has disappeared. Okay. Well, that's handy. Oh, this is really annoying. Fine. I'm still trying to make this crap work. Don't mind me. It's good to diagnose these things live on stream, isn't it? And that is where the monitor's mix should go, so that's right. Is it? Yes. Oh, God, Steam's added audio devices too. When did it do that? The world's conspired against me today to bugger this up completely. And for whatever reason... It's quite interesting that I literally don't have a stream mix audio device anymore. It's like it's just disappeared. But that's what it's meant to be. This is really weird. Okay. Now, interestingly, it worked in the video, and that used the wavelink device. So that should be fine. Okay, stream mix on. What are you doing now? So you guys have lost music, haven't you? Yep, you guys have lost music. Good. Brilliant. Perfect. This is good. This is going so well. It's going to be one of those days. Oh, well, we're just going to have to run with the monitor mix, I'm afraid, which is going to be a little bit weird. And I'll have to fix this up later. Now I don't have a monitor mix anymore. Great. Right, we have music back. That's fine. Right, we're in Train Sim Classic. Let's run through people we've got in the chat. We have Andy, who wants the E60. I don't think I have it. We have Michael Newbury. We have Sai. We have ACAAJW2, and we have Rolliston Rails. Hello. And down we've got Benjamin's Brain in a Jar and Renfi in the shorts chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. What are we going to run? We've got lots of things to choose from. Brocken Railway, Alaska, Arizona Divide. Don't pick that, it's shit. Bahnstreck Leipzig Dresden. Bahnstreck Riesa Dresden. Bahnstreck Strasbourg Karlsruhe. Bernina Linny. I have way too much stuff, don't I? Birmingham Cross City. Boston and Albany. Another crap one. Canadian Mountain Passes is decent, but very long. Chatham Mainline. Oh, why not? Let's start with Chatham Mainline. Let's do this. Rolliston Rail says maybe the KB on the Midland Line, or for the lols, S1 on the Midland Line. Oh, it's in the dark. Okay. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Damn, hang on. I'll be back. I need to do something before I start Train Simulator. Or this isn't going to work. Come on, Train Simulator, stop. Right. Run this. Run this. Right. Now we'll start Train Simulator up again. Because, you know, rail driver. Benjamin's Brain in a Jar. Just watched my Thomas announcement video. His son will be 45 next month. I absolutely love it. Seeing everyone lose their minds and hate on it is so funny. Don't like it, don't buy it. Oh, look, that's it exactly. I think, oh, we can run Tadami line. That's a cool idea. Why not? Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. C moved his PC upstairs to bedroom. Now can't pick up Wi-Fi for some reason. The Wi-Fi signal upstairs is shit. Well, you know, put your computer in the bedroom. Yes, you'll need to get either a mesh network or an extender. Come on, TSC. Catch up. Tadami. Did I make any of my own versions of Tadami? I don't think so. Oh, this thing's hard to drive. Alright, let's figure it out. How hard could it be? This could be embarrassing. See. Yeah. I think it's funny that people are hating on it. It's like, yeah, welcome to your insecurities. My real railway has got a Thomas. Welcome to Tadami. You will drive train 427D to Aizu Beng. I hope you enjoy the cherry blossoms and scenery from city to open field. Please stop at all stations and pick up passengers. Shouldn't I be in my train? Or do I have to walk to it? I'm in it. Right. And doors. I'm trying to remember how to open doors in Train Sim Classic. Oh yeah, T. Alright, got the doors open. It's got our funny little train. So, is the reverser actually going to work? It's not, is it? It's not believing rail driver. So that should be first gear. I think that's forwards. I think. And don't you have to turn some other stuff on to make this work? I think you do. Is Q's going to push that button. Good. That's brake. Okay, so the brakes are going to work with rail driver. That's good. Is the throttle going to work with rail driver? Yes, it is. Good. But the reverser doesn't work with rail driver. That's just strange. But that's okay. We can deal with that. What about the gear lever, though? The gear lever doesn't seem to work with rail driver either. Also weird. But anyway, that's okay. We have got this working in both feeds, I think. So we're driving the Kia 40. This is coming to Train Sim World in the not too distant future. Being made by Union Workshops, the same people who made this one, I believe. Ethan plays Roblox in the vertical chat. Yes, I have heard they're adding Thomas to Train Sim World. We were just talking about that just before you popped in. Alright. It's a bit of a crap one, but there you go. Brakes off. Now, I better check. Is that signal? What? Brakes on. Brakes on. Brakes on. Oh no, my signal's up there. It's alright. It's fine. Does anybody remember what the keys are for gears in Train Sim Classic? Or someone Google it before I need to change. Which I think is about there. So let's go to the... drive gear. That iconic Japanese train crossing noise. Hello, Chaster Fox. Rolliston Rails is watching this and attempting to edit a video. That's always fun. Oh, I think Model Thomas was the best one, yes. Model Thomas was what I... Actually, I started with the books, but I did get into Model Thomas. So yeah, it'll be interesting. There are people who are loving it, and there are people that are hating on it. It seems very polarizing. I just want to try and see the gauges. There we go. It looks like the shorts feed can mostly see the gauges, but my head's covering up the speedo. Maybe in the shorts feed I'll put my head on the other side so that I'm not covering up the speedo. Oh, you still can't see the speedo, can you? Oh well. I'm just screwed in the shorts feed. If you want a wider feed, come join the wide feed. How good are the brakes on this? We're about to find out. Not great is the answer. Oh, because the rail driver's not doing it properly. Ah! Emergency stop. Emergency stop. No, we've gone straight through the station. Have we got enough in the station that'll register it? Maybe, maybe? Ooh, no, by the looks of it. Because it won't load up. Alright, back we go then. Back we go. It's okay. And the rail driver doesn't do the brakes very well. I think... let's just turn rail driver off. Otherwise it's going to be too annoying. And thanks, rail driver. Parting gift, turns the wipers on. Very good. Alright, now reverser, we are going backwards now. Brakes off. Back into the little station at Nanakamuchi. And I'll figure out how to turn the windscreen wipers off in a minute. Feel free to tell me what key windscreen wipers are. Alright, there we go. I'd think something logical like Control W, but I bet sure it's not. Headlight dimmer, headlight switch. Oh, we probably want those on too, don't we? Oh, we're loading up. There'll be a switch here somewhere for wipers down there. No, over here somewhere. What's that one? Cab light. Cabin light control. Gauge lights, we want them. Bing bong, Avon calling. There's got to be a wiper switch here somewhere. Oh. Alright, there we go. Got rid of the wipers. Excellent. And we finished loading, so we should go back into forwards gear. And get out of here. Thank you, Rails. Rails and Rails, especially when you're waiting for the clips to export. Yes, it can be problematic, video editing. So, sorry for the people who were expecting Railroader today, but just a recap that it's got a massive update to the experimental branch, which I run in, which means all my mods don't work anymore because they've broken the core classes again. But, you know, that is why it's the experimental branch. You can't really complain about that. The Tadami line, for those who don't know it, that we're on right now, is a fairly relaxed, quiet, semi-rural railway for the most part. We're running in the suburbs here. As we proceed to Nishi Wakamatsu, which if I remember correctly is Little Wakamatsu, I think. So there's main stations and Nishi stations, I seem to vaguely recall. Oh, my own air light's not on. And one of my family members is very quietly trying to get up the stairs, which is kind of funny because every time they move their foot, the stairs creak. Oops, going too fast, being naughty. All these tiny little crossings in Japan. They really are everywhere. I highly enjoyed visiting Japan in... when was it? 2023? It wasn't even that long ago. And there are places where the railways are so close to the buildings you could actually open the window in the train and reach out and touch a building. Here's our next station coming up, Nishi Wakamatsu. C says, good news, brother is finally home after a month in hospital. That is awesome news. Awesome indeed. Just need to slow down a bit more. Oh, actually, he's got the diversion. Oh! Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Brakes, brakes, stop, stop, more brakes, more brakes, more brakes. There we go. Lovely. Perfect timing, perfect spot. Got it. It was funny yesterday when I was on the steam engine. It was steaming like a dog. It was really, really, really bad. I was struggling to maintain pressure. And I couldn't maintain pressure and inject water at the same time. I was juggling back and forth, as you do when you get a bad engine for the day. And my driver, who's excellent guy, he's a little bit known for being a perfectionist. And when we got to Lakeside, he goes, you drive it back, I want to fire it. Because he was wondering, is it the engine or is it me? Well, he fired it back and he got exactly the same. It was just as bad as when I was firing it. But the good thing about that is I got to drive, so. And initially he kept telling me what to do because he wanted particular settings to test it out. But then he gave up and went, just do whatever you want. Alright, let's switch to the Xbox controller, if I can remember how to do this. Alright, so brakes is... oh, it's bloody backwards to Train Sim World. Wankers. Why is it backwards? That's really annoying. Off we go, leaving Nishi Watsamaku, off to Aizu Hongo. One of the cool things about Japan, at least, is in the anglicised versions of the place names, they are pronounced how they are spelt. Oh, it wasn't a rough engine. She's just been converted back from being an oil burner to coal. And to say she's not happy is an understatement. She works okay. But, no, he wasn't drafting properly. And it wanted a massively thick fire. In fact, the way I had to fire was totally counterintuitive. Normally when you're firing, you maintain the smallest fire you can, and you do little and often. In this engine, just to make it go, to make enough pressure, you had to basically fill the firebox up to the door and then do a 45-degree angle down to the front and keep it about 8 inches thick at the front, which is ridiculous for one of our engines. It's just totally ridiculous. And you had to run with the door closed, which means it's getting almost no secondary air at all. It's producing lots of smoke, but at least it would make some heat then. So it was really struggling. But we got there. And the important thing is that Lindsay and I worked awesomely together as a team, as always. And the people in the back knew nothing about the troubles that were going on up the front, and that's the whole thing. It's we call it the theatre of the railway, but when we're having troubles, the passengers don't need to know about it. Rails says Japanese signals look similar to signals in North America and Australia. Well, they kind of do. It's because they're lights on sticks, I suppose. And C says also trying to give up smoking with a vape. Remember, they're not that good for you either. But, you know, if you can get off smoking, great. That's a better thing. Brad says, good to know that you were firing correctly and got a drive as a bonus. Indeed. I'm actually going to chuck my hat in the ring early next year where they're putting out an expression of interest request for drivers, and you have to write a letter of why you should be considered to be trained as a driver. And mine will be a little bit interesting because you're meant to have 5 years as a fireman before you train as a driver. Gratuitous bridge shot. In fact, isn't it worth one of these? Of course it is. But you have to work as 5 years as a steam fireman before you're accepted, before you can even apply. But I don't have 5 years as a steam fireman, but I have been a fireman on diesel locomotives since 2008. So there you go. Where is this station? I can't see it. Must be down the bottom of the hill. We'll just roll down there. It is, after all, a relaxed day. We have no passengers and we have 2 drivers. That's interesting. And we have lots of cherry blossoms. Rails says coal-fired steam locos tend to cause trackside fires. Well, actually, I'll chat about that because we're actually really careful with that. We run ash arresting grids in the smoke box and we have ash arresters on the pan. The locos don't steam as well with the ash protection engaged, but they're nothing like what this one was doing. Welcome to Aizu Hongo. The door will open on the left, and that's a ridiculously short skirt. Who said that? Not me. That'd be interesting, actually. I wonder if we're going to get Japanese character people in the Train Sim World version. Oh, that's near enough. Chunk. So we also have little, they're basically gaiters on railway wheels that follow the trains everywhere too in summer. Rolliston Rail says more coal, more fire, more steam, and the best part for rail fans, more smoke. Yeah, so she was plenty smoky because, you know, running with the door shut means half your stuff's not combusted, so it just goes out as smoke. So yeah, plenty of smoke for the Gunzels yesterday. I'm sure they enjoyed it. But it was just really weird to fire that way. Rail says oil-fired steam locomotives make things easier for the firemen. Look, physically, yes, they do. So I've fired both. This engine was oil-fired until about 3 weeks ago, when she was converted back to coal. So physically, yes, very much easier. Mentally, no. It's actually harder to fire a locomotive because you need to think about a lot more and you need to be more on your game. Whereas the coal-fired loco, you've got quite a long delay between when you put coal on and when you get the heat. So you need to prepare much earlier. Whereas an oil-fired one, you've got to be right on it. So if someone starts to, or if the driver starts to close the regulator, for example, you've got to get the oil off really fast. Otherwise, you're going to make lots of really horrible smoke that makes people sick. Chandler B's transport in the vertical feed says, sorry, I need to go to bed. It's 10:15 and I'm tired. Well, have a good sleep, mate. We do have people from all over the world here, so that's cool. Hope this doesn't roll. Probably shouldn't take the chance, should I? Sitting here at Aizu Hongu. Little station. So if you want to know about what Tadami Line in Train Sim World's going to look like, well, it'll look like this. Alright, that guy missed out. Off we go to Aizu to Takata. We're really getting out into the country now. It's interesting, Japan's a little bit like the UK in that everybody clusters in the cities, so while it's an incredibly densely populated country, you can get out into areas where there's no one very quickly. Hello, Uberk. AC says, idea for the letter. Please let me be the new driver because I want to drive the big bloody train. That might work. Rail says it's best to shut the windows and tunnels. Good news, no tunnels on my railway. It was big gritters all the way, AC. Absolutely vomiting it out. So yes, quite filthy yesterday. Uberk says, just read the description. That doesn't look like Railroader. Yes. So Railroader's just had another massive update in introducing things like timetables for passengers. I will do a news thing on it soon. But terrible timing from my perspective because it happened as I started Steam up. It started updating Railroader and I'm going, oh no. Because I run on the experimental branch, which does quite frequently change. The advantage is that you get all this new cool stuff. The disadvantage is that... let's get that mouse off there. The disadvantage, of course, is that it breaks you from time to time. So when they change some of the root classes in the code, that stops the mods from working. And I have 2 key mods. I've got a lot of map mods from lots of people, mostly from Alina. They're some of the better ones. But I've also got mods that do things. And I use Rail Loader to load the mods up. And I use Strange Customs for the scripting. And I need updates to both of those, because at the moment they're not loading any of the mods. Some of the mods will probably need updating as well. And while this might not seem like a bad thing, the rate that I actually operate the entire railway is quite dependent on the mods. And I started it up to see what would happen, and it just had this massive list of cars that were floating in the air that I had to place somewhere. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to kill the process, and we'll come back to this when the mods are ready. So we'll have to come back again. Rolliston Rail says, but smoke is good for photos. Yes, it is. Very much so. The Gunzels are very happy when you make lots of smoke. It's not that unusual for me when I see a Gunzel by the side of the road, even if I don't need it, to quickly throw a shovel into the box. Shovel of coal, I should say, into the box so that they get some smoke. Especially if I can get some grains of rice, because we always have a mixture of lump coal and grains of rice. Because the grains of rice go up in smoke really quickly. Uberk says the December update. Yes, indeed. They have managed to get it out in December. Look at me going ridiculously fast on our way to Aizu Takada. Better just slow this down a little bit. There we go, that's better. Gratuitous bridge shot with cherry blossoms. Naturally, we need one of those. Because you do. Rollison says, have you heard about our new locomotive? I have not. Hello, Anarchist Angel. How are you? I hope you're well. Hope everyone's well, actually. And for those who celebrate, Merry Christmas. And for those who don't, bah humbug. Rails says the Illinois Railway Museum has a steam locomotive where they put diesel fuel to build up the new fire. Yeah, we do that too. We use a mixture of diesel and kerosene on oily rags. So you go and get the rags that have been used to clean steam locos. And you soak them in oil and kerosene. You build up all of the timber. You chuck the rags in. And some schools have thought put the rags underneath the timber. That's what I usually do. Others put the rags on top of the timber. There's probably not a right way or a wrong way. Everybody just has a way that they do it. Welcome to Aizu Takada. That'll do. Door's open. They already got in. Sneaky buggers. McDougal Jr., hello. That train guy, apparently. You changed your name because you look like my dad. So my new name is McDougal Jr. Oh, fair enough. Why not? Merry Christmas indeed. We did have a comment about that one Hentus's stream, which is probably still going. It's a bit too early for him to stop. Rolliston Rails has got 2 prototypes will be running tests next year, which are due to replace our 50-year-old DX class. Well, that's cool, because the DX class will go into Heritage Railways. Uberk says, interesting, Steam has planned that update for me for January the 4th. Silly Steam. Uberk, it depends which branch you're on. If you're on the main branch, you will be getting what I've been running in experimental for about the last 3 months. If you're on the experimental branch, you would have got an update this morning. AC, the upcoming Dutch route looks nice for TSW. Yeah, I think so. I've been having a conversation with a couple of Dutch people who were curious about why they chose that particular part of the line, because they've apparently chosen a relatively quiet part of the line, whereas the next part of it is more frequent services and different trains. But why they choose particular things is a bit of a secret sauce thing. It's not something that DTG tend to talk about very much. Oh, it's still there somewhere. There is a train in the weeds, honest. Here it is, our little Kiha 40. And I'm told the other day it actually is Kiha, not Kia. I've always called them Kia, but apparently Kiha. Heading out over the rice fields here. These fields would get filled up with water. McDougall says, I got TSW5 and got the free DLC. Excellent. Rolliston says, yes, the diesels will come to the Heritage Railways. That's really good. Annika says that's probably why. It's a good thing I don't have this running in the hard mode, or it would have whacked me for going that fast. This train does have multiple modes. I think it defaults to the easy mode and you have to turn the other one on. I don't know why my mouse keeps ending up there. Oh, mouse pointer. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll tell it to not capture the cursor, and that will be better. Now I can put the cursor wherever. Going off to Negishi. And a beautifully timed, gratuitous bridge shot. It is such an iconic sound, the sound of the Japanese railway crossing. Rolliston Rail says, I wonder if the S1 would be able to work on the Midland line as in the New Zealand one. Probably. I think you can probably run any train on the Midland line. I don't think Train Sim Classic actually cares much about gauge. Rails says it's now summer in Oceania. I'll let you into a little secret, Rails. Oceania is an American term because they don't like saying Australasia because they think it's racist. Bugger all other people in the world use Oceania. It's Australasia. We are very much a part of Asia down here, even though we are our own continent. We're outnumbered a lot. McDougall Jr. says that train looks kind of like the old diesel Red Hen train, Adelaide train. Yeah, it's basically a diesel multiple unit. I don't think any Kihas ever actually came to Australia. But they have been seen outside Japan. There's other railways that run them. Like Brazil. Brazil's weird. It's absolutely obsessed with Japan. Oops, wrong way. Welcome to Negishi. This controller is ridiculously sensitive. Here we go. It is indeed summer down here. It's only 19 degrees today, though. It's actually quite a cool day. Yesterday was quite pleasant. I think it ended up being about 23 or 24 or so. So it made life in a steam engine for the day quite tolerable. Uberk says, goodness, US, yes. They're a bit like that. They're the keepers of the world. Yeah, off to Nitsuru. Which isn't a kind of massage, honest. Ooh, where'd she come from? Why am I putting the brakes on? Because the controller's backwards. this thing, since the train got mad at Rail Driver. Which trains often do. Anarchist Angel says in German, Oceanian typically only refers to the islands around Australia. Yeah. There's a lot of them, like our eastern states of New Zealand. Of course, they call us the the western suburbs of New Zealand. Climbing a little bit of a hill here, up a 1% grade on our way to Nitsuru. AC would like to see an Indian route come to TSW at some point, especially the Delhi metro system. It would be interesting, actually, to have India in the game. I have visited India. India can be quite confronting for people used to Western cultures. It's very, very different. Anarchist Angel says, careful where you point that camera. Oh, on the platform? Yeah. Yes. Mind you, people in the game are not exactly fully featured, so... Nitsuru on the top of a hill. Running about 30 seconds late. I would be taken out and beaten in Japan for being 30 seconds late. They're very nice people. Forgiving for late trains, they are not. Is that a famous brand name up there? Let's go have a look. Sonv. This is what you do when you don't want to pay licensing. Sonv. What is that? Why is there a thing in midair here? What is this? It's a UFO. Alright, let's get out of here. Off to Wakamiya. Yes, I almost said that wrong. Wakamiya. Wakamaya? Wakamiya. AC says, only 19 degrees. I'm sat here with the heating on in 4 degrees in the UK. Yep. Well, the other day it was 39, so... Welcome to Melbourne. It's kind of the way we roll. We're expecting high 30s for Christmas Day, where we have all of the family members descending upon us. Rolston says lows. I keep looking for flight specials to come over to New Zealand again. There actually was one a few weeks ago and I found out about it after it sold out, unfortunately. Because it would be cool to come over again. Burke says 7.3 Celsius and showers and a standard non-white Christmas coming up. We don't generally get a white Christmas here. It's happened once in my lifetime that we had snow in Melbourne on Christmas Day. But it fell and it didn't exactly last very long. AC says I would die in 39 degree heat. Well, imagine getting in a steam engine where it's about 55 to 60 in the cab. And the engine I was on yesterday, when it was an oil burner, would get up to 68 in the cab. HD Gaming 360 says Pakistan would be good. Open the doors. Oh wait, some don't have. Not what I've seen watching some videos on YouTube. Whoops, I better start stopping. Or we're going to sail through Wakamatsu. Yesterday, nearly all the visitors to my railway were Chinese and Irish, which was an interesting mix. Last week when I was there, we had a whole trainload of Japanese. And culturally, there's some significant differences between the two. Even though they have a shared history going back a very long time ago, the Japanese people are very conscious of their space, and they don't invade other people's space. They stay apart from each other. Whereas and they're very polite, like, when they ask for photos and things like that. Chinese people, no sense of space whatsoever. They're right next to you. They're up there touching you. It's like, yep. After Aizu Bangi. Sounds like a techno song, doesn't it? Aizu the Banger. Michael Newbury says it's 9 degrees Celsius for you and rain. Rail says I'd crash out if I'm in the cab of an active steam loco. Like, you do, in all seriousness, you have to be careful. It is very hot. And you know it's very hot in the steam loco when it's a 40-degree day and you go outside the steam loco and stand on the running board for a while and it feels cool. You know your loco's hot. So you do have to look after yourself. Generally, when I'm telling a trainee that's with me, if you feed the fire, then take a drink. Or feed yourself. I usually eat at stations. I don't usually eat between stations, but some people need to. Like, I have enough self-preservative built in that I'm okay. I can burn some fat. But the skinnier ones, no, they need to eat between stations. So when you go little and often on the fire, which is how you normally fire, unlike yesterday, then you feed or drink yourself as well. It's quite important. Even in winter, it's important to do that. Quite pleasant in the loco in winter, usually. Rolliston Rails, then when tourists, you have bad driving. All the people that don't know the rules of the road, yes. And they just park everywhere. Literally everywhere. We have parking spots which are for the volunteers and staff. And cars get towed out of there because people go and park in there. Because as you can imagine, running a railway requires quite a lot of people. It is interesting to see cultural difference, AC, very much. Anarchist Angel says, I'm considering to become a steam loco driver when I'm done with the loco driver qualifications, but it's a lot of extra work and quite expensive. Getting licensed to drive a steam loco in Germany can take a decade. It takes about that long here. because you have to have a history of doing the jobs below driver. Desperately trying to find the right key then. And I think it stopped me. Yes, I think it did stop me. You gonna let me drive? No, you're not. You have thrown me out of gear. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How did we end up on the wrong track? Did we run a signal? Well, that went well. Explain that to the boss. Am I still on the tracks? You know, if I back up, I might be. No, my back carriage isn't, is it? He's screwed, though. Look at him. Hey, he's totally bonkers. Now, did we run through a red signal or what? I don't remember one. Can I go that way? It's not going to let me go that far, is it? Let's try 8. So were we meant to change those points, maybe? They're manual points. They are manual points. And did I run through a red? Are we supposed to change them? Yeah, I think we're supposed to change them manually. Oh, well. Oh, well. Are my front wheels back on the track? No. No, we're screwed. That's okay. Bugger. Oh well. I think we'll go back into Tadami because we want to finish one of these. We won't do that one. That one's long. How about some wintertime? Wintertime seems cool. Where's this one going? Tadami River Valley is covered in white snow to a key of 40 and enjoy the winter along the line. It doesn't say which part of the line we're travelling on, though. Alright, we'll do that. I don't know if I've got the S1 Rolliston Rails. Oh, it's a different part of the line at least. That's good. I think we're at the end of it, actually. We are at Tadami. We are at the other end. Well, that's cool. There's our little train. We'd better start getting people in. Now we want gauge lights. That way. Headlights. To reset that. Do we need wipers? We do need wipers. There's another train coming. Hope this one doesn't hit us. Look at that snow fly. He's coming in awful hot for a terminus station in the snow. But that's okay. He stopped pretty quick too, didn't he? You would think she was cold. Tadami. Almost time to go. Anarchist Angel says, oddly enough, the exit signal was green for him too. Yes. Yes, and the passengers will be late now. I had a caution. So maybe when I have a caution, I'm supposed to change tracks or something. Maybe I'm meant to do that. I don't know. We have a red at the moment. Because he's got the caution signal. And we need to change the points. Go change the points. So we have manual points. Now I've got a yellow signal. There we go. We need to pay attention to that. Yeah, off we go. Hopefully not slipping. Just take it easy. I'm not sure I've actually got the S1, Rolliston. Definitely have Midland Line. And Annika says, honestly, would have been hilarious if that train just crashed right into us. Well, it kind of did. And Annika says, if that's real world, it's the worst signalling system I've ever seen. Yes. Slightly problematic. Americans call that a cornfield meat. Uberk says, I vaguely remember that cab from MSTS all those years ago. Indeed, it was in MSTS. It'll be interesting to see what features it has when it comes to Train Sim World. Anarchist Angel says the switch isn't locked while another train has permission to drive over it. Shudders. Yeah. I do know of permissive signaling systems that are like that. Where the light's really showing the position of the switch. It's not actually showing an authority. That my track down there? Could be. Massive bridge coming up. I think we need to get ready for this bridge, surely. There we go. How about there? That'd be good. You want me to take a KB through the tunnel at Arthur's Pass? Speaking of smoke, running across the giant bridge. I'm not actually that confident running the KB without practice, Rolliston. The KA I could. Or JA, sorry. The KB's a bit of a handful. Especially if you need the booster for something. Next stop, Aizu. Yeah, the KB's a little bit evil. Train guy, we are on the Tadami line. We are currently approaching Aizu in Akiha 40, which is the same train we're getting for Train Sim World when it comes out. Hey, it's like Train Sim World. It rains in the tunnel. Actually, I just thought if I had the yellow signal, that means the points were set for me. He should have stopped and set his points. Oh well. It's a very popular outfit in Japan, this one. Must be one of those TikTok things. He's a very serious looking gentleman. Could I have actually got the second car on the platform? Maybe. One of its doors, anyway. Aizu. Off we go to Aizu Shiozohawa. Feels like I'm wheel slipping. That feels a bit better. No, it's still making funny noises. Do I have a sand button? Nothing really obvious for a sand button, is there? Never mind. Anarchist Angel says, ironically, I find stopping precisely in the games harder than real life. I do as well. Because brakes in the games really don't work the way real ones do. It's like yesterday when I was approaching the big bridge before Belgrave. I did a brake application, and we try and cross the bridge at between 5 and 10 mile an hour. And I did a brake application, and that got me down to 12. And I knew that was too much for the bridge. And I knew this loco didn't like a second brake application, but, you know, I've got no choice. So I took one anyway, and we go, and stop. And we go, okay. Yeah, braking's an interesting thing. I think the best description I've had of it is that any monkey can drive a train uphill. It's going downhill where you learn your skills. Rolliston says, if you come to New Zealand, I'd recommend visiting Dunedin Railways. I did. I've ridden that. Kingston Flyer wasn't running when I was there. It was dead, parked in a shed. Plains Railway didn't get to. Ferrymead did. Weaker Pass didn't. Steam Incorporated didn't. Mainline Steam didn't. Glenbrook did. So I've been to a few of those places. No rectal accelerometer. That's it exactly, Anarchist Angel. Feeling it in the seat of your pants. Or in a steam engine, in your feet. You're normally standing up. We do have seats on the steamers. So the fireman rarely sits down. Another bridge. With a river. Whoops. And there's a big bridge coming up. A really big one. Rolliston says, favourite heritage railway in the South Island is Plains with 3 steam locomotives. 64, K88 and JA 1260. I think we need to see the train go over this bridge, don't we? And surely we need a screenshot. Train cruising through. As we approach Shiozawa. Rolliston says they also have a Ruston 48 shunter. We've got a Ruston. It's called NRT1. NRT stands for not a real train. Newberg says there are so many sensory inputs you don't get in the games that you do get that make braking hard. I'm sliding. But as they say in the classics, that's okay. How did I get into this stupid bloody thing? Oh, you're not going to open the doors. Bastard. Now I have to go backwards. How did I get into the neutral gear? Oh, I was in backwards. Okay. I'll have to go back so it lets me actually open the doors. That looks uncomfortable. Just a little bit. No, I can't open the doors. To go back a little bit more. Let's try that. No. Bit more. This is ridiculous. Now? No. More. Let's try that. Yay! Oops, she's walking on air. Clever girl, that one. Alright, let's get you into the right direction now. Rolliston says where the guy that made the New Zealand stuff volunteered. I do want to visit. Preferably when you guys are there. That would be fun. AC says I'm heading off to bed. It's 11 PM. Thanks for the stream and catch you again soon. Well, thank you, AC, for joining in. Hope you sleep well. It's actually getting cold here, you know that? I could just put a heater on, but you know, it's summer. Shouldn't have to. Rolston says, been to Plains twice this year when a K has run. Very cool locomotive. Amazing to see it after the fact that she was dumped in a river as flood protection. Yeah, it's quite a comeback, that one. I've read about that loco. It's an amazing comeback story. Anarchist Angel says, I wish passengers made a little plop sound when, like a bursting bubble when they disappear. What about when you run over them? Then they go pop. It's probably an unpopular thing to run over your passengers, though. Am I going too fast again? No, don't worry about it. Nothing to see here. Uberk is going to bed too. Yep, you have a merry one as well, mate. We have all the relatives descending here, which means the other half gets into all of the preparations and fun, and I just do what I'm told. I have some things to do after the stream. Promised I'd finish this one a bit earlier too. We have a lot of stuff to do before Christmas. Rolliston says, I don't volunteer there. I live about an hour north in Rolliston. Well, funnily enough, that's your name. You know, I live nearly an hour from the railway I volunteer, and I used to live next to it, but today I live quite a long way from it. Rolliston says her sister K94, though, is stored and the old mainline connection is in a bot of a derelict state. That's sad. Uberk says I'm going to Christmas on the 24th for the first time in 7 years. Yeah, cool. About to come out of this tunnel as we progress on the Tadami line to Aizu Oshio. At least we're not having streaming dramas today. I actually did some experimentation after last week, and I worked out what was wrong. Simrail and OBS were actually fighting over the same GPU instead of... OBS was configured to use GPU 1, and the games always use GPU 0, but for whatever reason, Simrail was running on GPU 1, which is the one I use for OBS, so they were fighting each other for resources. Which is weird, because I have other Unity games, and none of them do that. Yeah, whiteout. And in the interest of world peace, I will finish the stream earlier today. Little square cars are very popular in Japan. Like these. They even have things like the Nissan Cube. Hey, the wheels don't go round. The wheels don't turn. Oh no. Next stop is Aizu Oshio. Yeah, I'll have a look, Rolliston. Thank you. Anarchist goes insert bouncing Yaris. Should be just around this corner in the trees. Exactly where you'd put a station. Out of sight. There it is. Looks like another little short one. She's following us, I think. Is that going to be enough to let me open the doors? I don't know. No, it's not. It's pretty insistent on its stopping positions, this game. Especially with these short little platforms. Let's try that. No. No, not even there. I've probably gone too far forward now, you watch. Oh, it's that that does that. Okay. I think I need to backdoor more on the platform. Because the whole carriage isn't in the platform yet. That's probably what's going on there. Let's pop down and make that happen. Oh, when it swaps HUDs, it does this. Okay. When you move the joystick left, it swaps HUDs and takes you out of gear, which is interesting. I reckon that should do it. Yep. That was harder than it needed to be. Anarchist is heading off for the night as well. Drive safely. Watch out for oncoming trains. Yes. Well, at least I was stopped when he hit me. That technically means it's his fault, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll probably finish this one after this run anyway. And maybe next week I'll be able to run Railroader again. We'll see. If all the mods are done. Two. That's all we want. That was very disconcerting, seeing the inside of your own head. Wait, let me throttle up. Only off. How weird. Oh, it will when you're in the cab, not when you're outside. That's weird. Very weird. Off to Aizu, Yokota. This train's in Diesel Railcar Simulator now too. It's the Kia 40 and a couple of others. I dare say we'll see a Japanese route for Diesel Railcar Simulator at some point, since someone's making trains for them now. Will we get to the gap while it's still on the bridge? I think no. I don't think we're going to get to the gap either. We're paralleling the train. We just can't really see it. There it is. All the way down there. Never mind. Heading off to Aizu, Yokota. On the Tadami line for people who have just joined in Train Sim Classic. Not what was originally advertised for Railroader. Oysen Odaya says, how do you drive a purchased route? I am new to Train Sim World 5. In the main menu, there's a thing that says to the trains. Click on that and then you can choose either from a train itself and it'll show you what routes it runs on, or you choose a route. And once you choose a route, you can choose timetable or scenarios and go from there. If you look in my playlists, Oysen, you'll see how to do it. Look in the Train Sim World 5 playlist, because it changed a bit in Train Sim World 5. Ooh, this could be a tricky one. I'm going to whack her in the back of the head with my mirror. Bonk. On train, more. Just have to let it roll because I can't accelerate out here. It won't let me. Excuse me. Whoa. Will that be enough? Let's try it. Yep. Rolliston says, well, Christmas is a good time. Christmas Eve over here is the railphone community is a time of disaster. The year marks 71 years since the Tangiway rail accident occurred. That was a big one. Hello, Sudhasen in the vertical feed. How are you? All right, let's get out of here. Off we go to Aizu Kosugawa. Oops, probably shouldn't have gone into power level 5 quite that hard. Little Kia. Little shed here, which I assume is for servicing locomotives. Ralston says, yes, our deadliest one in New Zealand's history. If you're in, excuse me, the vertical feed and you prefer a horizontal, then you can always pop over to the horizontal one. There is a link in the description. 3 Ks to Aizu Kosugawa on the Tadami line. Even though this is coming to Train Sim World, I don't know why I'm coughing so much this morning. It's weird. Rollison says 151 people lost their lives Christmas Eve 1953 due to a laha damaging the rail bridge, which couldn't support the weight of the overnight Auckland-bound express. Gratuitous bridge shot, of course. More of the local vehicle traffic. Kilometre to go to Aizu Kosugawa. It should be interesting when this comes to Train Sim World, because the graphics will be markedly different. And hopefully somewhat better to drive from a player physics perspective. Next stop is Aizu Kosugawa. Here she is again, and she can still walk through walls. Good enough. Got the crap hut again. No, I want that way. I wish the game did not do HUD changes using the joystick. It's very annoying. All that time you're waiting there in the snow and you didn't even get on. What are you doing? Yeah, now you gotta wait for another one. Very slow start out of this station. As we go to Honna. What we got left after that one? Honna and Aizu Kawaguchi. I think I'll leave it there because we need to get some stuff done once we finish this one. What we should do, Rolliston, is a New Zealand day. Where we run everything. Because on Midland, there's the electric trains, there's diesel trains, there's 2 different steam engines. There's a whole lot of new stuff too, which I've been watching gradually trickle out. I haven't done a New Zealand day for a while. To jump onto the store and buy some of the new stuff. If you want the latest and greatest for mainline, don't go to Steam, go to the New Zealand Train Sim Workshop store. Because the newest stuff is there. Next stop is Honna. It's a funny train, it slows down when it's going downhill. You have to keep powering. A little bit weird, but there you go. I hope you're enjoying this little taste of Japan. It's a little bit of a prelude of the future for Tadami Line in Train Sim World 5. Today we're in Train Simulator Classic. Oops, and I am speeding. Is me thinking I put the brakes on because the controller's backwards between Train Sim Classic and Train Sim World. That one bus guy said if I had to get a trains game for my first train game, which one would it be? They're about to release a new one. It's very, very close, I'm told. But if you want the latest stuff, you probably want Trains 2022, which is the last one that came out. But there is a new one not very far away. If you like routes, what kind of area do you like? What kind of driving style do you like? And you can get Train Sim World 5 for free at the moment. There's even a free DLC, I believe, on most platforms. Massive bridge. I think this is the one, yeah, this is the one with the dam. Which will be properly modelled in Train Sim World 5. Next stop is Hana. Good to see all the trees overlaying the track. And there's our lady again. I might have to go backwards. We'll see. We'll see how lucky we are. Oh, don't do that. No, we got away with it. I'm surprised we got away with that. Our next and last stop today will be Aizu Kawaguchi. No, I didn't. All right, our last stop today was Hana. That was unexpected. Life. It's life, Jim, but not as we know it. Anyway, that will do for today because, like I said, we've got a lot of stuff to get done, and I did promise to finish kind of on time today rather than let it run over a little as I often do. So thank you very much for joining in the chat. Thank you very much for watching. Big yes to a New Zealand day in the not too distant future. And I'll get on to Stefan and see what kind of deal we can come to get everything in one package so I can download it all and make it happen. Alrighty. Enjoy yourselves, folks, and we shall see you later on. Not sure if there'll be a Wednesday night gaming this week. Will there be a Wednesday night gaming this week? Look, maybe. We'll see. If everybody's gone home, maybe. But we'll see. No promises. Alrighty, have fun, folks. Enjoy. See you later. Bye.